to another video brought to you by our academy. Now in this video, we want to dedicate it specifically to the students who are preparing for examination or working professionals applying for a certification where an examination is needed. Sometimes during this process, you lose motivation. You're not motivated to study, you're not motivated to perform. And as a student, you need to have this study motivation in order to help you accomplish the upcoming task. And in this current video, we want to highlight key important stuff or points that will surely help you pick up that motivation that you have and make sure that you get the track rolling and you're approaching your exam with enthusiasm and you're preparing with a lot of energy. And in other words, you have that motivation that you need to study. Now, one of the important things that we always advise, and I share with my students, I always tell them, when you want to study, do not wait for the last minute to study, hoping that you're going to be motivated to study, because that will never happen. You will never feel as if you're going to study, because no one enjoys studying to a certain point. On the contrary, what you need to do is you need to commit, you need to create a plan, you need to establish deadlines where you are going to actually prepare ahead of time and you will stick to the plan. Because let me tell you something, I do have a course actually published where we talk about the mechanism of motivation. How to get motivated from within yourself to do whatever you want to do in life, whether study, compete in sports, compete for a job, irrespective. See, the concept of motivation, it works in an opposite manner to the way that you're thinking. Most people think that you'll feel motivated in order to do something, but on the contrary. Now, this rarely happens. Now, for children, maybe. For entertainment, yes, you'll be, or if you're hungry, let's say, you'll be motivated to go and eat. Now, other than those basic stuff, when it comes to a specific task, let's say studying for your exam, you will not feel motivated to study for the exam. On the other hand, if you start studying for the exam and you find progress, your motivation will increase. And this is psychologically proven. If you act and you find progress, you are more likely to stick with the current action that you're doing and you're going to finish that task. So key point number one, plan and start studying. And once you do so, you will find yourself that you are actually moving forward with your preparation for the exam. Key point number two, always plan ahead, always study ahead of time. Do not wait for the last minute to start studying for an entire year's worth of information, because that's a recipe for failure, because you're going to lose motivation. You will be overwhelmed with the amount of information in front of you. Let's say your upcoming examination is 2 months from now. Prepare 1 month ahead of time. Take a look at the material that you need to cover and make sure that you actually have sufficient time to do so, because this refers back to point number one. If you are able to execute those small tasks, you will be accomplishing small goals and your motivation will grow over time. But if you wait the night before the exam to start studying for the exam, you will be bombarded by a pool of information, a lot of information in front of you, and you have no time to deal with it all. So what would that do to you? You will lose motivation. You will feel overwhelmed and you'll not study anymore. So to avoid that problem, make sure that you give yourself the sufficient timing ahead of time in order to be able to prepare for the upcoming exam and to build up your motivation as well. And key point number three, look ahead. Look at your upcoming future. Whatever you're doing right now, the exam you're going to be preparing for, it's a building block you're going to be adding in order to help you get to whatever you want to be. Whether you want to become an engineer, a doctor, a marketing manager, irrespectively, whatever your passion or profession is, the current step that you're doing will help you get one step closer towards your future and your goal. And that should be sufficient to give you the push that you need to move forward. Because wherever current point in time you are right now, you want to get to a better place. And in order to do so, you have to study and you have to prepare for your examination in a proper fashion in order to reach your end goals. Keeping in mind, if you don't do so, you will reduce your chances of achieving those goals. You will reduce the chances of living comfortably later on because of the lack of commitment you have been providing in terms of your educational requirements. Now, these are the key things that you need to keep in mind. Now, and the fourth crucial point, think about the circle of people around you. Now, true, you need to focus on your exams, you need to study in order to fulfill your own dreams. But take a look at the circle around you, your closest members of the family, your closest friends, your closest relatives. All of them, they have hopes on you. And you should live up to that, let's say, level that they have given you. You should live up to that level of performance they're expecting from you. Not because you want to please others, but on the contrary, because you need to first of all prove to yourself that you are worth this level that you have been given. At the same time, you should appreciate the trust that that circle has given you and the belief that they have in your own abilities and the ability to perform and to achieve your goals and your dreams. So you should have that in mind as well. So try combining everything that we have talked about in this video from point 1 all the way to point 4. That would help you ignite the motivation that you need to study. Keep in mind, success is a journey and success does not come overnight. You have to walk through it one step at a time in order to get to wherever you want to get. There is no elevator to success. Unfortunately, you have to take the stairs, and it starts right now. Invest in your time, invest in your knowledge, do the best preparation that you can. And also, I would like to highlight one more thing. Avoid overwhelming your brain with knowledge. When you are preparing for the exam, even though you're smart, I've seen many smart individuals do this mistake. Even if you're smart, do not overload your brain with information in a short period of time, because guess what? The human brain operates in a certain way. We need to absorb information in short bursts over a period of time in order to retain the information. So if you study one day before the examination, let's say you go through a book from A to Z, most probably you're going to forget whatever you have covered in the book in the first place. So to avoid that problem and to avoid losing the motivation and building frustration, you need to give yourself sufficient time. So these are the key points. Try to consider. Watch this video over and over again for the information to sink in, and this will help you get motivated to study, because it's your dream, it's your future, and you are the one responsible in building it, trying to draw it in whatever way you want to draw it, and the first step to do so starts right now.